Okay, hello. This is going to be a brief discussion of what I've done in week 7. So, coming back from A1, I've been a bit sluggish this week. I've procrastinated a lot, and as a result, I haven't done much, but I've just been bug fixing, adding certain mechanics, and all round polishing, basically. And this is demonstration. So, firstly, is icons. So now we have a pickup icon that I still need to tinker with, and a crosshair as well. I just need to disable the mouse. This was just for testing purposes. So if we go over to the stool, and we see that the glove appears, to so the raycasting is registering the object, and then set active true for the glove, set active false when the raycasting's off. That's how that works. It does need to disappear when I pick up an item, but it's a good starting point. Um, so I can push items now. So if I have this ball, I can push it around. Because I was using the character controller, I needed to hard code this. So I'm adding force on every object I collide with, because my player doesn't have a rigid body. So collision wasn't. It's not just running into objects now, and have them move with a rigid body. I had to actually program it, but that's looking good. Some more interactable objects are going to be placed here. Another thing I did was explosive barrels. So at the moment, you can pick up a barrel, and this will create an explosion. So it's much more forceful, and if we try again, it will affect nearby objects. So I'll explode on something else just to show you. So we grab this and then chuck it over here. See, it affects nearby objects now. All I'm missing is the sound and obviously the particle effect that goes with it. But yeah, I emailed Unity about a particle system or particle effect that pack that I sort of want to use in my game. Just show you, because I'm not sure if I can use it for commercial use, but it says it's free. It says the license okay, but I've emailed to make sure. So just see if I can search it. So yeah, it's this one. So I've just emailed to make sure. It does say it's free, and the description says it's free as well. But the extension asset license, yeah, I want to double check basically. But okay, I've also got to work on level 2, which is gonna be the big one. So you'll start here, go out the prison cell, then you've got the bridge here. Um, this is just gonna have like a depth to it, so there'll be 2 stories. This is the middle section, still the middle sections, and then a separate scene for the upper and a separate scene for the bottom. And so in this one, the unsighted will basically chase the player. Down here is where the warden will be, and then upstairs in the upper level, that's where the gremlin will be. So just the basis of this so far. Got a big door that requires all the keys, and this will basically open up into the chase area, which will be a separate scene. So now 2 new additions on the player um, player mechanics. So I implemented sneak and sprinting. So sneak doesn't affect the local scale anymore, it affects the height, so carrying objects won't get stretched, and it changes the speed. So there we go, it affects the character controller height. Um, and I also have sprinting. Yeah, so that just doubles the player speed. Um, I will tweak the mechanics, but at the moment the program works. There you go, it just doubles it. Okay. So raycasting was a big issue. So this what could happen potentially in vertical slice. So you would raycast to pick up an object, and sometimes the object gets sent to the item destination, which is in front of the player camera, but sometimes it could miss the line of the raycast, if you see here, the white line, and if that happens, the object is basically could get stuck, and you're unable to throw it, and you're unable to drop it, because it needs the line of raycast to actually work. So what I've done is that, with help from Matt, of course, here, the selection. So I got raycasting to work when you're picking up an object, so you're identifying it. But then I've got a slot here, so now the item that you pick up goes into slot, and all the information gathered is basically from that slot and not the raycast line. So that you can see the raycast line. So I pick up an object, I'll bring it over here, but now you see it go into the slot, and it's basically, by releasing it, is adding and manipulating the values or the variables in that slot rather than the raycasting hit. So it's a lot better in my opinion, and the bug's gone, which is great. So, but it took a lot of work to figure out. And lastly, well, two things actually, the lighting. So I had issues with the light settings, so I emailed the owner of this asset pack, and he responded with an in-depth basically solution of what I could do and what settings are appropriate for this asset pack. So I'll be working on that probably next week. And one last scene is this AI demo I've been working on. So it doesn't use nav meshes. However, so this guy has the option of 9 points to choose from, and he'll randomly select one and move to it. So it's basically like a patrol system. I will include nav mesh so he can basically go around objects, but this is probably what I'll use for the monsters patrolling the floors and the sections. So I think that's quite cool, and I'll need to work on animation soon. That's what I've done for week 7. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks very much.